Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I'm so excited to have on a 28, 33, and a couple 41-year-olds. Their hockey journeys have taken them to the USA, Spain, Germany, Russia, Canada, Hungary, Romania, Sweden, France, Israel. They are legends in. Three of them returned to the shed and helped us become the #1 podcast in Israel. And we're going to be #1 again, folks. Winning is fun. The rookie shed guy is one of the pioneers of Israeli hockey, won the championship 2 times. He is also a legend of the national team, just like his twin brother, as they both have a couple of bronze medals and 1 gold and got the squad promoted. And for fun, they both have led the world championships in D-man scoring. The other 2 are set to muck it up against these twins and the Bat Yam Dolphins, one with the Jerusalem Capitals, and he's already put up 14 PIMs in 2 games played and is set to hit the ice and the other team later this evening in Israel. The other fella is ready to light the league on fire with the Holon Vipers, just like a year ago when he rolled into the country, played 5 games and put up 17 goals. It is my honor to welcome to the shed Phil Bushbacher, Jesse Michel, and Evgeni and Michail Kozhevnikov.
Woo!
Boom!
Woo! Bang! Wow!
Yeah. So I get into how we know each other. I guess you guys are all in Israel. I'll start with the new guy, the other Kazi, Evgeni.
Yeah, hi. How are you?
Hi. I like you got good chest hair. Good chest hair.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like it.
Pretty
Nice to meet you. I get it now. We know each other. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. We met actually in Holon
Did we?
when I was reading Michel. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
I'm sorry.
You don't remember me.
I usually do, but you weren't my teammate. Sorry.
Yeah.
I remember your brother.
I hope you do.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's what I love about this is I got to reconnect with you, Michail, episode 263, and it had been since 2013 I hadn't seen you.
Ooh. Yeah, crazy, huh?
It is crazy.
But we did it really quickly. It was not a big deal, right?
Hey,
days.
you know, they call it epic shit. We were #1 in Israel for like 2 weeks after that. Winning's fun.
2 weeks.
Always. Anyway.
2 weeks. Yeah, I don't even think we're ranked anymore. What a joke.
Right back to the top, baby.
Right back to the top, right? If they knock us down, we're going to get right back up. And Jesse, how are you doing? You're outdoors. It looks nice there.
I am. I'm out in the communal garden of my hotel, so I'm sure that we might see some interesting characters meandering the hallways behind me, so we can look forward to that, hopefully. But it's a beautiful day in Israel. It's a beautiful day to be out by the ocean. We got a cool ocean breeze out here. We love life.
It's a good day for living, some people would say.
It is. Amen. God bless this country.
One of the questions I had was what the accommodations are like when you go over to the Israeli league. So you're saying you're living in a hotel?
I choose to do that. Most of the guys choose to room up with each other, but you know, when you're me, you need a little bit more access. So I during the regular season in Mississippi, I was living with a bunch of guys. Tim Payne, my teammate and roommate from last year, he came to join us on Jerusalem and fortify the squad. So he's with a bunch of guys. There's a bunch of the guys that are living together, sharing apartments. But when I'm here, this is my vacation. I'll wander into their apartment whenever I want and hang out and watch some TV, go for a walk, go to the beach. But I need my own space when I'm here. I can't deal with it. I need my peace. I need my quiet.
There's a certain age, right? I remember at university, everybody loved living together. Then there's a certain age where it's like, okay.
Yeah, but you know, I'm not down for the melodrama. It's usually pretty good and people coexist. But when you have young men yet to be in college mixing with guys my age, I like it a little cleaner.
Yeah,
a little better.
And Bushbacher, what are you doing? I saw you just rolled into the country.
Yeah. So I'm staying down in the city here in Tel Aviv with the warden. So we have our own little spot. Um, we're right by Frishman Beach, not too far, so about 10 minutes walk. Um, but yeah, we just have a small little spot. I'm sitting here washing all the jerseys and socks for the import guys. So yeah, just another day in the Israeli league.
So here's my question then. I've taken a shine to the Israeli hockey league since since having these fellas on and hearing about it, and I didn't know anything about it. And now I follow it and I
Yeah.
see some highlights and stuff. Jesse, I saw you being a bully the other day. That was mean. Um, but obviously they're doing something right, because in the hockey world, when people want to come back and when people come back, that means you're doing something right. And all of you guys are now returning players in the league. So Bushy, why'd you go back? What was it about playing in Israel?
So to start, my fiance is Jewish. I'm Catholic. So one of the things we always kind of said is she wanted to come back. I always told her there was no one would come because the news is all the bad stuff, right? And we came last year. It was phenomenal. Honestly, it was the most fun hockey experience I've ever had. You think about the league is like it's a hub, right? So this year we have 8 teams in one spot. Um, it's basically guys hanging out in Miami with hummus is what I like to call it. It's beautiful. The guys are awesome. The hockey's getting better and better. And for us, it's like Jesse kind of said, it's a little bit of a vacation, but it's also a good time to get a sweat and make some connections. And yeah, for us, it kind of becomes something to look forward to all year. And yeah, it's really just a great opportunity to see another part of the world and meet some really cool guys and yeah, make some
It
memories.
really is, though, and that's what I think of hockey is like. I wouldn't have met all the people I met if it wasn't for hockey and getting out there and doing stuff. But it's like when it kind of to me makes me think of it's like the new Australian league. Guys have been going to Australia in the off season all the time, and now there's a different option for people where you can see a totally different part of the world. And they're not getting you to eat kangaroos, you know. So
yeah, and I mean, I don't want to overstep or speak for the other guys, but it's like for someone like me or Jesse, like I run a business in the summer where I'm training people. For me to get away for a couple weeks is totally realistic. That's fine. I can make do with it. But to go to Australia is 3.5 months out of your life, right? And if you're still playing, especially in Europe, you miss training camp and you're already behind the 8 ball with your coach, right? Because
oh yeah,
let's be real.
you don't want to miss training camp. That
Yeah.
actually, like with Michail and Cardiff, the goalie, he came late from Australia, and the coach was wound when he wasn't there.
Yeah, but even like I've been in France a long time. I know managers and coaches there. Like, they won't sign guys see that guys are going to Australia strictly because they know the extracurriculars that are going on, and they know guys are probably not going to show up in top shape. So enter the Israeli league where you're here 5 weeks max. You have a great experience. You don't have to totally give up your life to play a little bit and see a cool part of the world.
So here's my question, just because I'm curious, is who pays for your apartment?
So for us, it's all amateur, right? So we're paying for it right now, which, you know, ultimately when you talk to the guys in the higher up levels is to make it semi-pro or ultimately professional. But right now we're at the grassroots level. So for us, it's like I said, it's a pay your way down and play some hockey and see a different part of the world. So it's a mix of hockey and you know, a little bit of leisure time.
And you, like you mentioned, you got like family ties to go back there. And I guess the Cozies, you guys pretty well started this shit, eh? Evgeni, let's start with you, eh?
We didn't start the shit. Yes, like Misha told you last time, how it developed kind of the Israeli hockey, and this league is actually a new project which exists for the 4th season. And for us, we're not professional anymore, and 5 weeks is a long time. You know, we run our own business in Germany, and you can't just go for 5 weeks. But anyways, this year, well, we're getting older. we wanted to join the league because we heard a lot of good things about that, and we want to develop hockey in Israel and want to meet new people around hockey here, around hockey in Israel, because for the Israeli players which are developing, who are young and who wants to have maybe another career, very important connections all over the world. And here in this league, even there are a lot of guys from the US, from Germany, a couple guys from Phyllis playing in France, and it's really important to get those connections, to develop players, to get them a chance to play somewhere beside Israeli league and bring the experience back for the national team and back to Israel and to develop hockey here. That's and we know a lot of guys from the Israeli hockey. We don't have a lot friends, and like we became kind of a family, and it's here to play with them, to hang around the ring and chat with all the guys, and that's a good opportunity in this time of year.
So you guys are there for all 5 weeks this time? You guys are putting together like the whole season?
No, I'm
not really.
3 weeks.
Just
It's
two,
not even-
2.5 for us.
Signed only playoff contract.
Yeah, same with me.
For the
Good
playoff.
agent.
Yeah.
We
We
So
have the
you
same agent for
so
sure.
are you saying you just got there and it's like playoff time now?
No, I'm here for 3 weeks. I played a couple games regularly. Played yesterday in the evening, but Michel is joining us later for the last, I think, 9 days or 8 days. Looking forward to it. But right now, without him, it's also nice.
I'm doing my trade. I'm doing my training camp. I'm still watching. I'm hitting the next days to Israel. I was not in Israel yet.
Okay, so you're back in Deutschland.
No, not
know-
really. And
Where are you?
I'm in Turkey right now.
Turkey. Jeez, this shed's very international.
This is a very, very big
No.
shed that spans a lot of
Yeah.
continents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great bandwidth in the shed.
Yeah, no, it actually sucks.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's like Jaya said, we always prepare the year before, right? So when it came down to so we can join the league, we wanted in April. We started talking about it. Everything was said, like a private issue, like so when the family is whatever happens, like hockey is hockey, and that's what I also learned, and it too, Waldo. Family is family, and family is first. Like I
Oh,
love
yeah.
hockey, and I do. It fills up my whole time, like honestly. And my wife is great with it. My kid is great with it. Everything's cool. When it comes down to some certain things, family is family. So
Yeah,
I could have
it-
said,
I-
you know what, I do go to Israel for 5, let's say, like, but not
That's-
everyone can do this from job and everything. I mean, it's expenses and stuff like that. But when it comes down to when we do vacation with them, like school, my girls went to school and stuff, like you try to arrange that, then you kind of meet in the middle, right? So for me, it's very important. So I cut the family holidays and say we can do this for much, but I do 1 week with you, and then I go for 2 weeks to Israel.
Yeah. So you're gonna get to go for 2 weeks and run amok, and then you're gonna be there to try and win a championship? How does this work? 8 teams are all in one town?
Yeah, so think about it
play.
like the NHL hubs during the right?
Yeah.
So all 18 are here. I know. I think Michael, are you playing with Bat Yam as well with Evgeni?
Exactly.
Yeah. So those two are on Bat Yam. Jesse's on Jerusalem. I'm on Holon. We also have Netanya, which is basically all the guys who live and train here. So that's like David Levin and his crew. You have Herzliya, which is a new team. You have Haifa. You have the Israel U20, which Evgeni was on the bench with them the other night. So that's the team that just won their world championship group. And then you have blanking on one other one. Tel Aviv, HC Tel Aviv. So Mikey Janello, the warden, with the assist from the other room on that one. Good job. HC Tel Aviv is run. It's Mike Janello, so he's the head coach of Vernal Oilers in the USPHL. So yeah, you have 8 teams, and we all live here, live together, hang out together, take the bus to the rink together. But on the ice, we all try and win, right? So
Yeah,
that's why I said
hockey.
it's a cool,
Yeah.
it's a cool concept. And like Jesse and I are, we're playing against each other, but it's at the end of the day, we'll go grab lunch, we'll go grab a coffee, whatever, right? So that's
But
what we
he
talk about. It's a
probably
unique experience.
he's probably not bullying you like you were. I saw you posted that thing. You said, "I'm the goon of Israel," and you were just throwing a couple dudes around.
Yeah, I was. What team was that?
Did you go for lunch with them after?
Okay, so I had a few incidents. So I had someone screwing around with a couple of the guys on my team. So I went over and I kept my gloves on and I clocked him in the face. And then another one stepped up, so I clocked him in the face and he fell over. Then another one stepped up, so then I clocked him in the face. I ripped his helmet off and I threw it into the stands.
Yeah, you threw it far.
I threw it all the way into the ceiling.
Yeah. I think in other leagues, in other leagues, if you're tossing the helmet that far, it's some kind of a suspension.
I was feeling very, from Caesarea here, so I was feeling my inner, Roman emperor in me, and I felt like my goodness.
And Evgeni, or Cozy, what's your brother's nickname? What were you calling him before he came on?
His name? How I call him?
Yeah.
I call him Jane.
Jane. That's the same as Evgeni?
Yeah, that's a short form.
Is it? Kind of like Sasha was Alexander, right? Am I right?
I mean, it works for 42 years, so it's okay.
Shane, right? Is that right?
It's why the Malk and Gino. So it's like the short name of Evgeni is Jane.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I figured. So I heard you got a stick in the face last night then, so you had a good night?
Yeah, well, I had a good night. I lost a tooth, but the most like the part was like Israel, everything takes a little bit longer, so it took them for 5 hours to get into stitches. So that's the most annoying, like things happens.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That'd be annoying. And I saw when the research team got hot, I don't know what's going on in this league because Jesse had his incident there, but you had played 2 games and had 27 penalty minutes. So what did you get up to?
Actually, it's nothing to be proud of, but I think in the first game,
I never said you had to be proud.
Oh, but it's like, I got a little. I'm usually not a fighter. Probably have whole career, like maybe once, and then the first game in this league, and I had to fight. So the guy with a cage.
It's funny how that works, eh?
Always the cage guys.
I bet you is probably being a young punk and just be an annoying little rat, eh? And you just like, enough's enough. You got a cage on. I'm gonna show you what's up.
Yeah. Oh, kind of that. Yeah. And the next day, when I was coaching the U20, the development team, the Team Israel, I had to tell him that it's like unacceptable to fight in this league, and they told me, yeah, you did it.
You did it like that.
You.
I think but you know what? Yeah, but you know what? I guess it's it speaks for the league. I mean, there are like you guys said, I'm really curious about that, like because so many guys, like more experience and less experience, are mixed up together, right? Mm-hmm. So now it comes down and this is the growth, this is emotions, and this is the experience which everyone is doing there. When you see it, my brother is like 6'5". Like, I mean, what is guy expecting? How it's gonna end or whatever?
Yeah,
with whatever, right? But you know what? I don't know. I don't think hockey is all about that, but it's a part of hockey. So when they want to prove them, where are you gonna do this? This is the league. This is the excitement. That's what it comes down. So that's if you want to have this challenge, that's cool. I mean, if it's it's on a certain level with all the fighting rules, whatever it is, I mean, don't talking about dirty shit right now. Right. Fighting. So I think it's all right, because this
Oh, yeah.
it's cage or not. So this is a guy. Maybe it's his first fight and the last fight in his life.
Right.
Maybe
People get in fights because of how they play hockey. And if you get the inexperienced guys doing that, then you're going to get the older guys teach them a lesson. And I think fighting is very important in hockey, because I know when I got to professional hockey out of Western Michigan, I did a couple things during that season. And then I realized you don't do those things or you're going to get beat up. That's why it makes people play a cleaner game when they're held accountable. Jesse, you'd know what that's about, right?
Well, I think there's two things. I think it's hard because some of these kids have only ever played Euro style hockey. For example, in Spain, guys would do a lot of talking, and then I would want to back it up with my fists and say, we don't do that here. We don't do that here. So I think there's this mix when you get a lot of kids who've only played European style hockey where fighting isn't the norm. But it's crazy because they think that butt ending guys, cross-checking guys in the face, slashing guys in the skates is appropriate, but punching each other is barbaric. I've always thought that was funny. So there's this clash of Euro versus American attitudes.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing, and I have to acknowledge, I think it's also hard for the kids on the U20 team because there's a different standard they're held to. When you're, it's the same thing. Let's say this was a Canadian league and there was a U20 Canadian team. When you wear that jersey or when you play against people that are wearing that jersey, I think there is definitely an expectation of, hey, we're representing ourselves, but we're also representing our nation. And one of the things when you're in Israel is when you're representing Israel, whether it's fortunate or unfortunate, you are representing the whole of the Jewish community. So I think it's also tough being a young man in this league, playing on that team, and maybe having that sink in where it's like, I didn't any fights. I had broke a few fights during our game against the U20s because for me, hey, I love a good fight, but one, I don't want to fight kids.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I don't want the embarrassment on myself of being the guy who's fighting the national team. Right? It doesn't seem like a good look on myself or on my career. So I was talking to some of those kids after the game, and I think that they got the message loud and clear. It's hard. You don't want to have a second set of rules for a group of guys, but when you're in international play, right? Like there's a reason that any time there's a fight in international play, Canada fights Team Switzerland, people go, oh my goodness, how could they do this? So just trying to inform the young kids before they make that mistake on the world stage and not domestically back home in Israel.
Yeah. And Evgeni, you coach, like you're the actual coach of the under 18 team Israel.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes.
I love coaching. So you're getting to raise these kids from puppies, and you're getting the best players in Israel, and you're getting to compete. I really enjoy competing, and coaching is like brought back so much love of the game for me. Trying to figure out how to be the best coach I could be and learn new things. I just found out yesterday that I'm going to go out and help Ryan O'Reilly just down the road, and it's going to be me and him on the ice, and I'm just going to move pucks where he needs them. I have a skill set. I figure I may as well use it a bit, right? So yeah, the coaching, I'm doing that. I'm going to volunteer to do that because I want to learn from him, and I've been on the ice with him before, and his drills and the things he comes up with on the ice, I've never seen the stuff before. And I just want to pick his brain and help him out. And I know we live in the middle of nowhere and there's not many guys that probably can put the puck where he needs it. And also, am willing to step up and help a guy out because he doesn't have many pros around anymore. But how'd you get into coaching?
Actually, I'm coaching for around years now. My son's playing hockey in Düsseldorf, and I'm coaching there, junior teams. And since I'm obviously getting older, you want to stay with hockey in some way. It's the reason to also have fun. And now there are things in the federation going on. And I was asked if I wanted to coach a team to get a chance to go to Iceland with the U18. And of course, it was a nice adventure, but also a great experience. And we were fortunate enough to win gold medal there and to promote to the next level.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So
Winning's fun,
did
isn't
a
it?
couple times, and yeah, it is. It's great, but like coaching in Israel is also like something different. The Israeli kids are different from the mentality. Like Jesse told, like you have to teach them things, and not. And since I don't have a chance to work with them over like a certain amount of time,
Yeah,
we
I
just
know exactly what you mean.
don't have a camp. Like you have only a couple of days for things, and of course I try to teach them not techniques, but like I'm trying to teach them hockey, to teach how
Yeah.
how to be good personality.
But then
in
you
hockey.
probably got to be a bit careful not to try and do too much, right? Because when you get taught too much and then you start thinking too much, and then all of a sudden your feet don't work, right?
Yes, yeah, that's right. So that was the main goal for me, and like we told also with the federation, is like really to teach them how to play hockey, because I can't develop them over the whole season. So how to be a team, what's important for them on the ice, how to behave, and that's why probably the game, like when was it, a couple of days ago, was very frustrating against Jerusalem, like Jesse told, because those guys, because they play other guys who have great achievements for the national team, and you can't handle a lot of things like they did, but still they're kids, they're in a learning process, and if they learned from that, if they are willing to learn, if they're willing to go the way, they can make mistakes,
Yeah.
and
Well, it's like when I coach the kids around here, and well, and then when I don't coach them and I watch it, it's like kids will celebrate for at the wrong times, and they'll celebrate hard at the wrong times. And if someone doesn't teach them that's right or wrong, like when you're losing and you're losing by a few, and then you score a goal and you celebrate like that, that is not being a team guy. And if you're winning by a bunch and you want to go slide on your knees and celebrate like a donkey to show up the other team, that's also not cool too. And if people don't explain it to you, it's like I'll still remember the day in junior B when I think I scored like my first ever junior goal, and I was so excited, and I was right at the net that I just grabbed the puck after I scored. And I got back to the bench, and the captain, because he was a captain, he says, "Hey, great goal, happy for you. Don't ever get your own puck again." Right?
Yeah, just to add on to the point is when I was younger, I needed guidance, and I needed coaching, I needed counseling and help, and I think that we all try to give the kids that same grace and that same love, because Lord knows the things that came out of my mouth when I was younger and the action that I did were reprehensible. People grow, people get better. That's the thing of going from being a boy to being a man. So I think I can speak on behalf of all of us that it's our pleasure to help these young men develop. Hockey in Israel's in very good hands with the youth. It's just teaching them some of these finer points about the game and about conduct. But they're a great crop of kids, and my job might be to be a goon and an agitator. But part of that, during that game, I didn't have any fights. I was only breaking up fights because it's also discretion.
Yeah.
Learning exactly when's the wrong. So, as much as that game may have gotten a little out of control, I do have to say, they're young men, they're learning, they're improving. It's a learning opportunity. Some of the older guys, as well, did not do a very good job of controlling themselves and their anger, and giving the younger kids grace. So I think, hey, that's hockey and everything's good, but I am looking forward to the future of hockey in Israel, because those kids are very talented and they're receptive, and
And
hey,
that was part
happens.
of what made me think to have this on was I heard Kazi talk so passionately about Israeli hockey. Then I heard Bushbacher talk about how he had the funnest time of his life. And then I remember, Jesse, you were talking about how looking back 20 years from now, if whatever Israeli ice hockey can become, it's like that you guys were there at the start. It's a pretty neat thing, right?
Yeah.
So
and
Bushbacher, not to jump over things, because you are an aspiring coach too. You've been doing it for a while already, but The research team saw that you're going to be, this is what really confused here for next season for you. You're going to be the GM and head coach of the Chicago Crush, but then also be playing in Port Huron at the same time in the Federal League.
Yeah. So we talk about aspiring coach. So for me, I've decided that I'm no longer going to be a full-time player. So I took the GM and head coach job with the Crush and USPHL. I also took a full-time strength conditioning job. So I'll be working with the Chicago Reapers AAA club as well. So I'm going to continue my strength conditioning side. I'm going to now step up my coach side. I've been talking to Matt Graham in Port Huron off and on for the past like couple months, and kind of told him what my situation was. And with our junior league, we have a week off for American Thanksgiving. We have 3 weeks off for Christmas and New Year. And throughout the year, we have some off weekends. And our season ends in early March, even if we go to nationals, while Port Huron continues till the end of April. So I came up with Matt the idea of me playing about 20, 25 games during the year to be playoff eligible. So I'm really thanking him for giving me this opportunity to continue my career, and I can help him with his project in Port Huron while also, you know, weaning myself off of the playing.
Yeah.
So I kind of liken it to like how you guys have senior hockey up in Ontario. We don't really have that in the US.
And
so
you
it's
do
kind
got
of
to
that
wean yourself
situation.
off. I had to wean myself. It's like when I
Yeah.
came back, I wasn't supposed to play anymore. And then I took a year off because my knee was too bad. And then I just missed it too much. And I had met the guys around that were on this team. And then I just missed being around the room and play, you know, I didn't want to actually play the hockey games. I wanted the other part of it. I wanted to have a big group of friends, and I was in a new town. And it's like you guys roll into Israel. It reminds me of when I'd go to Western Michigan, I'd think of how regular students would show up at university and have to meet all these new people, where we roll into town and we're like, hey, we got 20 new best friends on the hockey team.
Yeah, for sure. And that's, I mean, obviously all of us have gone through it, you know, and Evgeni and Michael could speak to this too. You know, Jesse, you're still playing full time. That's awesome as long as you can. But as you get older, you start to kind of see the change in generations, and you know how things kind of move along, and you know it does become frustrating as a player, but you still love the game, right? So for me, I think right now this is the best situation. It's also the best for laying roots for my family, because now I have a little bit more stability in Chicago, while also being able to, you know, drive to Port Huron, which is just outside Detroit, and play some games. And you know, I've even noticed
It's
in
not
myself.
that close though. Port Huron's not that close.
It's 4 hours, but at the same time, we play in the USPHL. We play 2 teams in Detroit anyway.
Okay.
So I mean,
You'll
and if you're
go
playing
to coach a game, swing over to play a match. And
yeah, you never know, right? I'm a joke, but you know, there comes a time in your career where, as you mature as a player, you do become a coach, even if you don't know it, right? Like, I mean, you guys, you know, Michael and Evgeni, you could speak to it too. Like, even in Israel, like, you know, I'm rolling the lines. I'm telling guys when they're going on the ice, and like I see the things that they deal with the Israeli players, and you know, it starts to become a point where, as you mature in your process, it kind of all blends together, right? And there's certain people who I think are meant
do
to
you
be.
have a coach, or are you the player coach?
Player coach. So little,
but you're not even there the whole season.
So what I did at the first couple games is I would watch all the games. I'd help make the lineups and stuff like that. Now that I'm here, I have a funny story, because Evgeni saw us play. My first game here, I decided just to roll the lines, and we were I played D because we had 4D. So I said, all right, like I'll go back and let the kids kind of play their game and not mess with anybody. So I rolled the lines. We were down 2-0 at the end of the third. We wind up tying it. Last 5 minutes, I cut the fourth line down, and it's an Israeli kids. And we wound up losing 3-2 buzzer beater goal. Like, it was a great end. We were on the wrong side. and a player comes up to me on the ice after the handshake line and says, "Hey, why didn't I play with this guy after? And why am I not on the ice the last 5 minutes and this and that?" And I'm like, man, if I was 16 years old and
Yeah,
I said this to a 34-year-old guy, 33-year-old guy,
that's the
who
coach of the
not
team.
only is my coach, but also played 10 years pro, like I don't know that my dad would let me in the car on the way home.
Well,
You know, like
you probably wouldn't play much the next game, you know.
no, but you know, Evgeni said, like, and Jesse and Michael, we've all talked about this. Like, the Israeli kids are really competitive. They're really passionate about the game, but they haven't had somebody teach these things,
Yeah.
right? So as a
And you do
Canadian
need
and
someone to
Ameri-
teach them. You need that.
yeah, as like a Canadian or an American or, you know, or a German or Russian, whatever, like we all had the opportunity to learn from the generation before us, right? We all had that older guy saying, like, "Hey, maybe keep your mouth shut. Hey, do
Yeah.
this, do that."
Well,
Unfortunately,
and
these
that's
kids
what
don't have that.
that's what hockey is learning from each other. And it's like I got better at being a teammate and all that as I went along, I think. And you learn from everybody you're around, and the more people you're around, you see some shitty teammates and you learn how not to be like them. And then you see some great dudes and you're like, geez, how can I be more like that guy? So Kazi, I got to get you involved here. Okay. Looks like we lost your brother.
Well, what do you mean? Well, all's good. I'm really curious. I meet the guys through the video right now. It's cool.
And now you're
really
gonna be mucking it up
excited.
against
I'm
each other
excited.
soon, you know? Do you know
Okay.
that I'm so into this Israeli league that I saw in like 2 days that the Bat Yam Dolphins are playing the Holon Vipers? Holon Vipers?
Yeah.
Holon.
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 So,
Holon.
Kazi, you're not gonna be there by then? When are you getting there?
I'm getting there on the 16th. I think I get in there. I gotta see. But I just wanna tell quickly to just what you guys said as what I learned through the years. So from the first time I played for Bat Yam, like whatever 2013 in the championship, and this coaching about what they couldn't learn, they didn't have the opportunity, like you guys said. It's like everybody has an opinion, and for some reason everybody's saying, like, the bench is never calm. It's like everybody is like saying something, like who's playing with who or whatever coach says, and there's a discussion. And standing there, I was 32, 33. How old? I'm 32. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, it was the coach just said something, and everybody is answering. Like, it's not a discussion. They don't know it, but I think through time, like even now watching the national team,
the coach has to get like be the guy. Like, hey, listen,
I just said that. Like,
stop it.
I will. Yeah, but it doesn't work really this way, because you want to. You know, this is about the cultural stuff. I think this is a temperament. This is something what we love when we're watching a movie, when there's funny things about, you know, like Jewish life. This is traumatic for me, maybe somebody not, but whatever. Like, you know, it's funny, it's cool. And what if you say is how does it work? Like, Israel, like loud and this and that. But when it comes down to sports, when even like not only hockey, I guess, then it comes down. This temperament comes up, but through 10 years, if you even watch now in April, actually we want you to catch up in Spain. We did, but whatever. And you know, you see that there's a big change. So when it comes down, and you have a really mixed teams and different players, you know. When it comes down to national team, even there you see the guys getting different. The guys listen. There is a coach. Maybe even they have their opinion, but there's a video. There's this and that, and this thing's getting better. So it's not like it stands on the same point. It's going in the right direction.
Well, and
I just wanted to add,
hockey really is new, right? Like, it's new in Israel, and like what I found about traveling the world, it's like Germany had a different culture with hockey than Canada, and Canada has a different culture than the USA. And Sweden has a different culture than Finland, and they're right next door. Everybody has a different way of doing it. They have a different vibe in the locker room. They have different ways of coaching and being a player to a coach. And I find I think it's the most interesting thing for me, that it makes me so curious about what this league's like. So Like it's a very short season. You guys are living on the beach and you're all mucking it up together with 8 teams. You're fighting each other, drinking and having lunch, and it just seems like a fun time, you know?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It's a dream.
But I think like, and all the boys here will say like, you also you understand that you're coming to a place where hockey is in its, and not any disrespect to anybody here, because you have guys like Goose, who's a phenomenal, international player, and he's running Bat Yam's team during the year, but like, you are looked to as somebody who's bringing up their level, whether it's through your play, through your habits, through the way you talk to people. Like the kids look at you, right? And for them, like when you play the Israel U20 team, they're super competitive. They want to win every, because they view you as, oh, that's a North American guy. Like I want to see how good I am compared to him. Or, oh, he plays in KHL. Like I'm gonna go take him on and see like what I can do. And that's part of what's great about this league, is you have so many different levels of guys. Like, Kirill Polozov, who plays with Evgeni and Michail on Batyam, like this guy won 2 Gagarin Cups. Nikita Lukin, who's on that team, like he's a top scorer in Kazakhstan for 5-6 years. These kids, now they get to play every other night against somebody like that, whether it's Mike 11 or
and playing against really good guys teaches you things too. I like, for me, when I was a power play guy, when I got into pro, every time whatever league I was in, wherever I was, when there was a power play and there were high end guys go out there, I was paying attention to what they did and how they did it.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And that's the thing, like these kids, they don't see a lot of guys like that during the year, but during the summer, this league is better than what they play.
So,
right? So
what goes on here? So they
big.
play this league in the summer. What else do these kids play? What are they playing the rest of the year?
No,
that's a question for the brothers.
There are two. No, actually, there are like 2 parallel leagues going on, and most of the guys, to have more ice time, they join 2 teams who play in 2 different leagues, and but these leagues, like you said, Phil, you said, it's they're lower. It's a lower level. It's not that level which we see right now here.
Right, because
So
I look at these rosters, man. There's a lot of imports in this league. You guys, like, I got it written down here
Like
somewhere.
50.
So Batyam's got Russian, Belarusians, Americans, and then Israelis, and then the Holon Vipers have 11 Americans and 2 Canadians, and then Jerusalem's got Canadians and Americans and a German.
Yeah.
Like, so that's a lot of people coming in and a lot of different cultures and backgrounds and ways.
These people have 2 passports, right? So Gelbart on our team, he's German. German.
Yes.
Right. So there's a few guys, like, even some American guys, even though they're elite prospects, as they're American or they're Canadian, they hold both passports. So some of them may have been raised here, moved young, or vice versa, that their family was in Canada, decided to come back and have a second home in Tel Aviv. Like last year, the Spivak family, they split their time between Tel Aviv and Toronto. So some of it is sometimes you might see it, you might think, oh, like, are these guys imports? And a lot of the guys who appear to be imports aren't technically imports, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I got you. And Kay, I got to ask about this because one of the poster picks, Kazi, you sent me the new Team Israel, the men's world championship hockey team. And then I just find it neat because of how many folks have listened, or different countries have listened in the shed, as all the different flags I know now. So when I was looking at the flags at the top of the arena, I have it written down that, so it was Croatia, Spain, Australia, and was it North Korea again, and Israel?
Georgia.
Georgia was in it? Did you guys play North Korea again?
Yeah, a couple years ago. You played them a couple years ago, but
that's it.
Misha, go ahead.
North Korea didn't join this division this year.
Oh, that sucks. I wanted to know if everybody was right-handed again.
No. There
You're
was
on the
there was
train.
most Australian guys were. Yeah, that's right. You know, there's we talked about last time. You know, it's how you call it, South Pole. So that's all the way around.
Yeah, different gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
There are
that's
different explanations. There are
Yeah.
different explanation for that, but that's my explanation. Gravity.
Okay, so Georgia was in it. I guess I don't know all the flags, but I still so Shane, how do you say it? Yeah, Evgeni. You played against North Korea too, though, a couple years ago, and every player shot right.
No, I guess it was Michel was talking about New Zealand, not about North Korea. On New Zealand's team and on Team Australia, there were like a lot of righties.
Really?
Actually, North Korea. Actually, I don't remember. But
Although
probably the most
North
are
Korea
lefty.
is on our side of the earth. You know what I mean?
I don't remember that. I was playing my own game.
Yeah. You were playing your own game, and I saw the poster pics for you. You are big, dude. You're like big.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Like 194.
Yeah.
But like
He is
Phil
a
is
big boy.
guy too, Jesse. Like big boys.
He's way bigger
Big
than
boys.
me. Way bigger than me.
Yeah.
I think we got the biggest guys in the league on the podcast because most of the
Yeah.
guys are a lot smaller than us. But I think the three biggest guys in the league are currently on the show.
See, I saw some days I wish that like I had a big money guy behind me for all the different ideas I have that could go on with the shed. It's like, geez, it'd be fun for me to go over and participate in a couple matches in Israel. It would also be cool to see the guy at the end of the earth in Argentina that makes hockey sticks, Matthew Meinzer, that came on, and he's raising Argentinians to be hockey guys, right? And he's trying to teach them a hockey culture down there. And to think of the different ideas there are that you could go do to grow the game. It's wild what hockey could become if all these countries get involved, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but Wally, just know that we do need some scoring punch. We're loading up for a playoff run. If you got nothing going on the next 2 weeks,
Well,
we could use some forward depth.
Yeah. I got a few things going on, but
Oh,
yeah.
Mo to fill in for you. Same thing.
Okay, Kazi, when you get back there,
What up?
so is everybody in Tel Aviv right now? Is that where we are?
We'll be
Yeah.
we're in Tel Aviv. Yeah.
Okay. First meal,
No, I
meal
was
you're
down.
going to get. What restaurant are you going to? What are you going to eat when you get there?
Well, you know what? To be honest, first I go to my grandmother, Safta.
Mm-hmm.
She is doing the best meal. You know.
And what's that going to
Jews
be? What do you think she's going to make you?
Well, I don't think I know. She asked me. No, she does a special soup. Since I'm small, so I love it. So only hers. Yeah, that's the first meal I'm gonna grab. You know, when I'm in Israel, I mean, there are many great stuff, like great places. For smaller to bigger, it doesn't have to be even super expensive. Like I love a place in Yafo when you just get a shawarma, you know, in the corner. Nothing special, but for me, it's something different. You know, you walk, you have a skyline of Tel Aviv, and you grab it there at the corner. And I do it every time I'm there. So something like this. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I guess we'll meet. Guys met already in different places, and so I'm for me it doesn't matter. For me, it's about the group and the people you go with, and you have a nice time.
Well, and it
doesn't matter
is cool. It's like when we were in Hellbron, right? We had that little bar, whatever there was, right, where we would go right around the corner from our apartments,
Exactly.
and we'd go there and sit there and just hang out and be a hockey family, right?
Exactly. That's what it is. I mean, I mean, sometimes we want to have a good piece of meat on the plate or something. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it really doesn't matter as long as you're with the right people. So Jesse, what's your favorite meal over there? Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Yeah.
Michi?
No, I said that team captain of team, really close friend, almost brother, Itzi Levy, the captain of Israel of Jerusalem team. I follow this guy. He knows the right spot.
Oh yeah,
I don't need I don't need to search go on TripAdvisor.
That's what it's
Very-
about. It's knowing the subject matter experts, right? You just gotta know who knows what to do.
For me, I always go to the shuk, which is like the market, Carmel Markets. There's this place that I go to called Carmeluna, and it's 18 shekels for falafel pita, and it's the most delicious, fresh, because it's right in the market. So all the vegetables and everything, they pick it up fresh every morning. So 18 shekels is like $6 Canadian, $5, $4.50 American. So that a day. So whenever I pull through, they're like, "Oh, he's back, my friend." Great accent. Because I'll eat out that whole shop. So I go there a lot. And if I'm looking for a little bit more fine dining, I went with a teammate to a place called Radler. And I got this amazing, some of the best food I've ever eaten, but I had the best ricotta pasta, and it was so delicious. So if I'm not going cheap, then I'm gonna get something a little nicer, and I'm gonna go to Radler.
And that's another thing of how we don't. Well, what I wanted to bring up though is while you're over there, and I remember when I first had you on when you were the Mississippi Seawolves, and I saw you had like 50,000 followers or whatever it is. You started doing a vlog while you're in Israel or whatever you call it.
Yeah,
I don't know what a vlog. What is a vlog? What does that
a
mean?
video log. It's like a blog because blogging was words, right?
Right.
And vlogging is just video. So last season I did, I just kind of, while I'm here, try to highlight the things that I like here, show people, because a lot of misconception media, right? So I'll give you a really good example. Like recently, a few days ago, there was a van attack because you are in Israel, and sometimes things do happen. But statistically, Tel Aviv is much safer. In Israel, it's much safer than Toronto or Chicago. The thing is, if one thing happens anywhere in this country, it's global news. One person gets stabbed, one person gets shot, one person gets hit by a car. It's global. But in Toronto, I mean, I can't even tell you how many stabbings there are. Don't even get to the local. So there's a lot of misconceptions. So I like to take the responsibility of debunking some of those, showing people, like I have friends that say, I didn't know Tel Aviv was this beautiful beach city. Tel Aviv is one of the most beautiful beach cities on earth. There's very few places with as gorgeous beaches as Tel Aviv. The food culture here is amazing. I always tell people, so Phil was saying it's like Miami with hummus. I always say it's like Miami meets Baghdad. You have such a beautiful array of architecture. So many of the new buildings are so modern. It's just so I'll just try to show the food, the people, the culture, the religion, the coexistence. You walk down the street, I think there's a lot of people, like before I came here, I thought Israel was mainly white people. Don't white people here, people thrive that are visiting and vacationing. I mean, you are in the Middle East. This is a place filled with people who are Arab and who are distinctly Middle Eastern. And I think that when you get here, it's a little shocking. And honestly, it completely changed my view of the media, because I'm like, okay, well, if the media is misrepresenting this country so egregiously every day, I'm sure there's many other things that the media is also extremely misrepresenting.
Yeah. And that's, for me, it's like starting this and chatting around. It's like, I have learned a lot around the world just talking to people. I guess that's hockey, right? You learn from your friends and what their experiences are. And when I played with guys, I never had the opportunity to, like, you go out for a couple with a teammate and have some one-on-one time. But when you're out in the groups, you don't get your time like this. And I find talking to guys that have experience and gals all over the world, you can learn a lot. Like, I didn't know anything about Israel, and now, like, I'm a fan of the league. It's kind of strange. And Kazi, you had a bit of background noise. I muted your ass. Just so you know, get the radio off or whatever's going on back there. So Jesse, you play tonight?
Yes. We played Netanya. So Netanya is basically kind of like a lot of the older guys that don't play under 20. They're now on the senior team. So, you know, Levin's on that team. Who else? Spector's on that team.
Milner.
A few other guys.
It doesn't matter what league it is, eh? There's always those guys where you say their name, you're like, oh yeah. I don't know who those guys are, but they sound like they're good.
Oh yeah, so yeah, they got a lot of national representation. They're a team. They're guys that are here. That, you know, Aviv Milner's another guy. He does a lot of coaching here in Tel Aviv, and is an exceptional player himself and represents his country. So yeah, Netanya's a great team. We lost to them last year in the gold medal game. So it's always funny when you say we won silver. Well, technically you lost and got silver. But when we got silver last season, it's because they took.
So what is the format
Definitely
here? There's 8
rivalry.
teams there. There's 8 teams there, and then
Yep.
how does the playoffs work? So if you're signing a playoff contract, how many games you got to play? Like, I haven't won a championship in a while. Just thinking of that.
Yeah. So 2 divisions. So right now, the brothers team, Bat Yam, is in first. And
The Dolphins.
I think we're called. Yeah, the Dolphins. Yeah, a lot of Dolphins here in Tel Aviv. But
So they're in
Yeah.
first. So
Even
you're
near
saying they're in first, and Kazi's not even over there yet.
yeah, so they're
maybe you
first.
shouldn't come, huh?
Yeah. They're first division. They have 15 points, so they're ahead of Tel Aviv, who's at 12, who beat us the other night. We're at 11. And then Herzliya is in last. They have yet to get a point, but they've been competitive every game. So and the other one, it's Netanya. Then Jerusalem's in second. Third is the Israel U20, and fourth is Haifa. So the bottom 2 teams are Dunzo.
Okay.
And then 2 and 3 play each other in a crossover to see who plays the top from the other side. So right now,
Bloodbath.
be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for.
I'm wishing for a repeat of last year.
I think I had 7 goals against you guys in 2 games, so I'd love that too. But
I think.
So is it just a
when I was
one
on the
game?
ice
Is
with
it
you,
2
plus
against 3's one game?
2 against 3, 1 game, and then the winners of those will play. Right now, it'd be Bat Yam or Netanya. So if we were to play Jesse, the winner of our game would then get Netanya, which is kind of like the Black Beast right now. They haven't lost a game in 2 years. We lost to them by goal last year as well.
They haven't lost a
yeah,
game in
and then
2 years.
They're a good team,
Yeah,
and they play
yeah,
together
so-
all year. Most of these guys, and they're
Yeah.
exceptionally talented.
In Israel, they do. They're an Israeli team that plays together all year.
Yeah, so they're the team from
Yes.
the one ice rink where
Couple guys.
we all play out of one ice, just outside Netanya.
And that's their home barn.
To practice, they do all that stuff. Yeah, so yeah, we're playing on their turf. So yeah, so they're the squad right now. Disputed, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out in about 15 days here.
Right. So then it's pretty well just a couple days. I saw the schedule. You guys play a few matches, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's an when we were trying to set up when this works, there was like, well, I'm playing the afternoon game and I'm playing the evening game. So basically it's just hockey for 5 weeks straight, and then that's that.
Yeah, normally 2 games a night. So like example, less the first and then the Bat Yam team that the brothers are on played the second game. They beat Tel Aviv. Tonight, I think it's Haifa and the under-20s play, and then Jesse plays against Netanya. But basically every night there's 2 games. All the games are on YouTube. So, I mean, you can sit there, and if you have nothing going on, you could go to the rink on an off night and watch 2 games and watch your buddies play and, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of action in a short amount of time.
And Jesse, we discussed while you're with the Mississippi Seawolves that your role wasn't really getting a ton of ice time. It was being a good teammate and letting everybody know what's up. So what's how much ice time you log in Israel?
No, I play a regular shift here, unlike back home. There's still an element of toughness to the game. Guys here won't fight me. And I had 0 fights in this league last year. I probably have 0 fights again this year. there's not a lot of North American guys that are my size in the league. Guys like fighting fights that they know they can win, and guys have seen my mixtape and my highlight reels and know the play, but they won't shed the mitts. They're super glued on. It's nice.
Well, I know my mitts would be on. My mitts would be on.
For me, this time of year, I'm not a puck handler. That's not my role.
Are you playing defense?
Both. I've played 50-50 just like during the regular season. I'm a swing guy. So I get to go out there. I like being on the third line and just bang bodies and try to get under the other team's skin. And, I get out there and line match everyone with the top. When we're playing against Batyam, I got to go out some shifts on forward against Chin and just try to shut them down. A lot of the guys, they know not to, if I'm beside them, they'll shed the puck instead of trying to carry it through.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to bring like a little bit of a mental game into it and get these guys second guessing their decisions.
That's a real thing. There's no doubt.
For me, the specialties that I do here, really hard forecheck. So I'm usually F1 chasing the puck down, just applying a lot of pressure and trying to force them to make mistakes. Back check, because same thing. If I can, toe beside a guy and he gets that drop pass and I'm within 2 steps of him, I'm cleaning his clock. And then just getting in front, tipping pucks, and when I'm on D, just trying to play stay-at-home D and be responsible. And so far, I think I'm like +4, +5 on the season. So
hey, and we haven't even talked about this yet. You are a former goalie, right? If people haven't listened, you were a goalie until what age, right?
This is my first full year of playing hockey now. Before,
you're 28 years old.
So the player, and Israel was my first place that I played out. So this is 1 full year of being a player. So, it's funny. Some of the guys, they like to chirp or make fun. Oh, you're not for a guy who plays pro, you're not such a great skater. You're not so good at this. You're not so good at that. And I'm like, I still get a paycheck and you don't.
So do you know what you're going? What?
Sorry, can I ask quickly, Jesse? What team is that you play? Mississippi? What is it? What team?
Season. I also played in Spain at the beginning of the season for the Logroño Panthers.
The Mississippi Seawolves are the Southern Pro League. It cut out a bit on my end. But
no, I'm sorry. I just wasn't.
So Mississippi had an East Coast team. Now it's Southern Pro, but like you guys pack a barn. You guys get a lot of fans, and seems like a pretty cool league. But so this is a question for all of you. Jesse's just getting started. I think he may do this for a few years. I've seen he's got life set up pretty good when it comes to his business world, and we talked about that. But Bushbacher, you're going to be setting roots in Chicago. And Causies, you guys are making the effort to be part of the league this year, and do the national team, I'm assuming. How many years you guys got left? I'll start with Bushbacher. My guess is this is your last hurrah of going over there. Now you're going to set up roots, or are you going to be back in the Israeli league again?
So from talking to everybody here, my voice here, but I want to try and keep coming over as long as I can. We're getting married next summer, so I'll probably be on another 2 or 3 weeker next year after our wedding.
I'm the flower girl.
Yeah, exactly. No, but for me, I'm kind of reserved to the fact that, my career is going in a different turn, and I'll probably, end up doing my thing with Port Huron for as long as I can until we start having kids and real life obligations. I'd go to come to Israel for another year, and I mentioned to Goose and Tall and the guys who run the league here that, I'd like to help out with the national team if there's ever a need or a possibility or a desire to have me around. So maybe this is my 2-minute pitch for the U18 triple assistant job. Maybe I can, wash laundry or something.
Well, now you know what they say. It's all about who you know, and you guys just met in the shed, right?
Yeah, right. And no, but for me, it's a couple more years, and like I said, I mean, I'm realistic. I know that strength conditioning and coaching are my next ventures, and yeah, hopefully can age it up, like kind of leg it out till 35, 36, and see how it goes.
Yeah, well, you had 17 goals and was it 5 games last time? So when you said hockey was as fun as it could be that year, yeah, scoring's fun and putting up 17 and 5 is pretty good, right? That's kind of fun.
Nice time.
I haven't put up 17 anything other than penalty minutes in my nothing. I don't have 17 points to string together. I barely even have 2 points to string together.
Okay, so Kazi's, what do the Bat Yam Dolphins have to do to beat this team? If say you were to play in the finals, what do you guys got to do to beat a team that practices all year together? And then, the Dolphins, we're bringing in the old brothers, the wily old vets. What do you guys got to do to beat these young punks?
I'll tell you one thing. I mean, we know these guys. We play together with them on the national team. We played like really a lot of games against those guys, and actually, like in the other league, where the teams are pretty similar, Bat Yam won 3 out of 3 against Netanya. So
you're ready.
We're pretty confident to go.
Yeah.
Yes,
bring the noise.
But like the first. But I don't know what we're talking. First thing is we have to get there. There are also other different teams. One like tomorrow, I guess. I don't know.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
Yeah, we'll play tomorrow. Yeah, they're like I said, they are the other teams to beat first, and then we'll focus on Netanya.
Mm-hmm.
But
Jesse, what do you got going on over there?
Towel delivery.
Towel. Oh, I got you.
Gotta hit the ocean before the game.
And Kazi, you've been skating? Are you going to be ready to go after Turkey?
Come on, I'm in a good shape. That's all I can say. Like, I know
you look like you're in the same
mental.
shape as when we played together.
No, better shape.
Better shape.
Of course.
Jeepers. Good for you.
I got
more experience.
I don't know.
Now.
But you know what? The most funny thing is I don't know what is it, experience, whatever, like I mean, we're talking about like whatever, like you guys like Phil, you're 32, 33, right? Jesse, how old are you?
28.
Yeah. How old are you? Oh, 34. So, and with I don't know why, but like I really have less weight now. I'm a totally different shape, a totally different lifestyle, and I don't know. Maybe that's because you get older, then you take things a little bit differently, like your nutrition stuff like that.
I'm not doing well at that.
Yeah, and we are smart enough not to play as many games, like just coming for playoffs. Great shape.
Right.
Well, and that's like
fresh,
we talk about
legs at the end.
That's what you talk about weaning it off playing. Is when I came back and played senior A, I was a playoff player. I had no interest in the regular season, 0. But I had to play 5 games to be allowed.
Well, you also see, come on, it's not about like every player has his own condition, physical condition. They know what's best, motivation, everything. So when we were playing LeBron, I knew this is good for me. Like 10 years after, I know what's good for me now. It's not the same way of practicing, the same living, whatever.
I understand. I know what's good for me. It's talking in my shed.
I haven't skated several champions. I've been playing in the summer league, inline and like tournaments. And
how did the world? We didn't talk about this. I asked about North Korea, but how did the tournament go this year? How did the national team do? Because you guys had won gold before and just been promoted, so it must have been way harder.
It was harder. It was hard. Definitely, to say it quickly, it was a tough. We had many young players there. Like I said, that's what the Israel Federation wanted. The team wanted was a young team. So he had to also call the other guys, but there was a big gap between my brother, me, and all the other guys. So that's why we were also in there. And it was tough. And we can't, like, to be honest, it's, right now this league is with Spain, with Croatia, with there's semi-professional guys. This is totally different mentality. It's totally different level. But we could compete, and we had the final game against Iceland. So
Yeah, Iceland.
right?
Something.
Yeah, and we needed to win by 4 goals, and it was
3
either
goals.
them or us going down. And 28 seconds to the end, we scored the 7th goal, so it was 7-3.
So,
And so we
really?
stand down. We stayed at level, and it was so huge because it's not because like Israel belongs there and Iceland doesn't, but it was like we saved 2 years.
Yeah.
The group of guys who were there saved 2 years for every Israeli hockey player because you go down. How do you know you're gonna win?
Winning's hard. Yeah.
So best case, you go down, you win it, and in 2 years you get up, you get back to the same level. So now there was a big achievement of the team to stay at the level, so we can keep working, keep
Yeah.
improving, and it's a different challenge. There's the team. I think what team moved up? I don't remember. I have to see.
Georgia.
But anyways,
Georgia?
Serbia. No, Georgia.
Yeah,
no,
they got-
Georgia.
There is
Yeah.
with the eligibility, so they had done and stayed in their group too.
Iceland and Serbia moved up. I think Serbia.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's so cool that you guys get to play for your
no.
country. Like I'm not gonna get to play for Canada, right? And it's pretty neat that you guys get to play for your country.
Yeah, it's great. It's a big. It's the biggest honor I think any athlete in any kind of sport can have.
And
don't present-
I don't get to practice much in my shed. But Evgeni, so du kannst sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch. We talked about how it's a small world, and you guys live in Germany and then go to Israel. And I know you guys from going to Germany. So ja, ich kann sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch, aber ich vergessen viel. Aber ich nicht Training bei mein Deutsch für 10 Jahre. You know what I mean.
Ja, 10 Jahre nicht mehr gesprochen. Ich verstehe dich.
Yeah.
Aber
And you're training the kids in Germany, and then the kids in Germany.
Drei Gläser.
What?
3 Gläser Bier.
Liebst die.
Dry glaze it up. Yeah, 3 glasses.
Glasses.
Yeah.
You know how to order.
Hey, so what language are we speaking around the Israeli league?
Israeli league. Yeah, English mostly, yes, English.
Hebrew.
It's a it's a thing of respect because there are a lot of Russian guys, of course, and a lot of like Russian speaking guys, and a lot of like guys who can speak like or speak only Hebrew, doesn't speak Russian. So it's this thing of respect to speak English because I guess like in a room like you wanna that everybody understands what you say.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And the
Michel,
refs are Hungarian, so +1 for our side. So, yeah.
The
think
refs
about
are
that one.
Hungarian.
Yeah. So Hungarian refs, a couple of them I had in the Erste League. So yeah, just remember that when you guys start screaming at them.
And it takes everyone to put on these games. That's what I figured out about talking around in my shed is like when you're playing, you're just playing. You're worried about yourself and what you're doing. Once you get on the other side and you realize it takes the refs coming from Hungary, it takes whoever's setting up this league, that guy that runs the Instagram account that I invited on today that didn't come. Like it takes everybody. It takes everybody to put on this
Wally took that
league, and
personally.
it takes everybody to come, right?
Hey, Wally,
Yeah,
I'll beat him up for you. No problem. I'll beat him up.
Please, is he playing in the league and running it or what?
Yeah, he got suspended the other night.
Holy moly. And he won't even come to the shed. So the guy that runs the league suspended himself.
Yeah.
And Jesse's
How-
throwing helmets across the arena.
Who got suspended? Talis got suspended? No.
Oh, 1 game.
What did he do?
Because of the fight with the referee?
They said that he punched
Did you
the
just say a
referee
fight
in
with the
head, but I
referee?
don't know if he did.
That's
I
more
didn't
than
see-
1 game, buddy.
Hey,
Yeah.
but we play 10 games, so 1 game is like 8 in a real league. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, we might have to go period by period suspensions at this point.
Wait, it's 2 minutes in the box is considered.
Yeah, he can't play the first. Yeah, he can't play the first.
He would probably
Evgeni, I got a question
The
for
first
you.
two, but the third.
When I was looking at the poster pics, it told me you were a defenseman and it said you were one of the leading scorers as defenseman. And then one of your poster pics is you're protecting the puck around the net, showing your big ass and protecting the puck, taking it to the net. You screamed power forward to me there. Do you play
Yeah, it's
forward
like-
too?
I played just forward. Like,
Yeah,
the
that's
point
what I
is when-
thought. By that picture, you didn't look like a defenseman at all.
we were. Yeah, when we were the first championship we played with Team Easter in New Zealand, we got to New Zealand, and back in the day I was a little big. I lost almost like I lost a lot of weight, and the jerseys we got from duration like were different. And number 4 jersey was like big, and the number 10 jersey was small. So Misha and myself we just changed. And so the guys didn't realize it. That's why since then, like, they list me as a D. That's it. Because I had
you
to
were
wear
listed
the
as a
bigger
D
jersey.
back then, so you yeah.
I wouldn't fit in the number 10 jersey, so I took the number 4 jersey.
Yeah.
Because it was big, and they thought.
And that's what confuses the research team. And maybe I got a weird brain, but when I looked at that picture, I'm like, that's not a defenseman, that's a forward. And
Well,
guess
I'm
what? I was
sure-
right again.
I can't even
and-
skate backwards. I can't even skate backwards.
And he wore number 0 last night. He was number 0 last night. So our scouting team saw 0, and we were thrown for a little bit of a loop too.
I'm number 0 right
don't
now
know.
too. I'm not because
Yeah.
they didn't have a jersey that would fit me, so I'm wearing the
No,
backup
no,
goalie
no.
jersey.
No, it's
Just-
because
yeah.
it's because they never rule anything out. My goalie, my
I
t-shirt,
do it
so
all.
0 is safe.
I had minutes last season in all 3 positions plus broadcaster. So I mean, they say I have the most valuable contract in all of single A pro.
Yeah. You're just gonna get a U. You're not gonna get a number. It's just a U next year. Utility guy.
Okay. Bushbacher had a good season last year. Who's the best player in the league? Jesse, do you know?
Like statistically at the moment, or who
I'm
do
not
I-
saying statistically. Who's the best player in the league? It has nothing to do about statistics.
Okay, so to me, best player in the league means a player you would want to build a
Draft
team
first
around.
overall.
Yeah, so there's a few guys that are in that pot. The elder of the Levin brothers is obviously a high skill guy, first overall OHL draft pick. An
First
exceptional
overall?
player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
first Ovi, Sudbury.
Yeah, so he's an exceptional talent. So you got to consider him, and then
How
you got
old's
to
he?
consider.
He's 25. Young
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. So you got to consider him. Then you got to consider our KHL guys because they're all fantastic. And then I'm a big believer in the church of the Bushbacher. So with that, if I had to put a top 3 together, that's my top 3 because I mean his point per game is undeniable, and the guy's had more than one cup of coffee in the coast. So I mean, if I had to, it'd be one of those 3. I'm either going with Lukin, Levin, or the Bushbacher himself because you get a value contract, Phil, right? You get the warden.
Right. He's the conditioning coach. He's the
yes.
head coach. He's putting up 17-5. Yeah. I mean, that's a valuable player, I would think.
A valuable player, more valuable than myself.
And Bushbacher. So in France this season, not to change the subject, you did lead the playoffs in scoring, eh? They call that running amok, but you guys didn't end up winning her, eh?
No, we lost the last game of the final. So
Yeah.
game 5 deciding game, we lost. So yeah, that's also another reason why it was fun to sign him for here with that taste. And so
Yeah. You don't. Yeah, that's a hard way to end her. If you.
we'll move on from that subject.
Okay, sorry, we won't talk about it. You're not ready to talk about it yet. It took me like a decade to talk about stuff like
No,
that.
but can I say my if I was building a franchise and I'm moving myself out of it, and I was an Israeli elite league, GM,
Yes.
and I don't exist. Levin is definitely a good pick. Nikita Lukin is a very good pick. It's. I would also say that there's Kirill Polozov, another KHL guy, is a good goal scorer. we had a few guys this year. We had the Berisha brothers. So I think one of them played in the Czech league. And we also had that CJ Yakenovitz, who was a 7th rounder of the Blues, who was in Tel Aviv. So you got to add those guys to the conversation too. So, you know,
Sounds like there's some
I
players.
played with Berisha when I was a goalie. We were both at Belleville together in the OHL before they became Hamilton. So we were the same draft class. So I've known him since we were teenagers, and not only is the
yeah. I mean, and like you
But
said, some
but
good
not
players,
your
like
but not your top three.
My first pick would be, of course, my brother. But it doesn't have to be anything.
Oh,
Of
that's
course,
nice of
it's
you.
a family thing. It's a family thing.
See you guys.
Yeah, it's a
See you
family
guys.
thing. That guy only shows up for
It's
playoffs.
just, you know, I just can't play
not
against
true.
him. You know? I just can't
How
play.
are we gonna
I
build a
play-
culture when we just
I
show
just can't
up
play
for
against him, you know. I just can play against him, you know. It would be a disaster. It would be disaster.
I
No,
think
but,
I
of course,
think
David
playing
Levine is
against
probably
your brother would be hilarious, and I'd love to see it because
yeah.
when guys start mucking it up, when you know each other, I find you muck it up just a little bit harder.
yeah.
Yeah, but there's another. In my opinion, like, I'm also coaching them, but David Levine's little brother, Mike, he's an exceptional talent. I mean, he's still young, but he is very good and can become really great player, maybe even better than David. But I agree. There's a lot of good, and which is just actually great and great achievement from the organization for the league. And I haven't seen a lot of all the guys now, but from what I've seen also on the broadcast, it's a good level. It's a
Yeah.
good level, and every team has good players. Yeah, have good players on the roster.
Well, and if
the
I
other
could,
thing is,
yeah,
he's maybe not the best player anymore, but still the best looking player out there is Jerusalem captain Itzhak Levy, best looking player.
oh,
is he a man
better-
rocket or what?
you think he's better looking than Gross on Tel Aviv? There's some good looking dudes in this league.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I
There's
mean-
some good looking dudes, eh?
There's
I
also
mean,
another
hey.
guy in Holon. On Holon, on your team, there's also a guy like with a nice haircut, like skating over there without a helmet. And
Oh,
what's his
yeah.
name? I don't know.
This is one of the
don't. The guy
funniest
wearing the
conversations I've ever
glasses-
had.
The glasses in the warm up, it drives me crazy.
Yeah, the sunglasses and the warm up.
So you guys go out there and play hockey, and then you guys all are by the beach and hitting the town and going out to eat and drink together, and then you play hockey against each other and then have fun again, right?
Yeah.
Sounds tough. Jeepers.
It is.
Anybody got any questions for me before we shut her down? Because I do have to go to the real world now for the rest of the day.
Well, Wally, here's a good question for the Shed listeners. Would you rather take British national legend Evan Mosey or Bryce Reddick as your first pick? Think about it.
Oh, geez, I don't rank friends.
Oh,
I've actually never seen Bryce play, so it'd be hard to.
he moves
rank
his
that.
legs real fast. He's got a good shot. He's only got 2 celebrations though.
Only 2 celebrations? Jeepers, that's boring.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
really do
yeah.
many celebrations. I always thought you got to act like you do it all the time, you know? Unless it's the time of the game where like you won the game, I'm gonna act like I do it, you know?
There you go.
So what are his celebrations?
He either has like this one, like then like a
Just
little
the
like,
fist,
bow and arrow.
bow and arrow.
Yeah.
He's bow and arrowing.
yeah,
That's
it's a
new
great- yeah,
school.
it's a
See,
bit-
I'm too old to be bow and arrowing, you know?
Yeah, but I think when you turn into your 30s, mid 30s, the bow and arrow kind of needs to get retired. Put that one on the shelf.
One career goal, and it was the kayak celebration. The only celebration I've ever been able to do. I've
So,
only had the
You
opportunity to
had
celebrate.
you got one career goal right now, and you did the kayak
In the
after you
All-Star
scored
game.
it.
It was in the All-Star game. It was in the All-Star game last season. I took a penalty shot, and the other team came out to celebrate with me because they're like, this guy doesn't score goals, and I did.
Was this
yeah.
in Israel or in
This was in
Mississippi?
Israel. Yeah, yeah.
He's our John Scott, our John Scott moment.
Exactly. Johnny Scott taking the ice, letting everyone know how it's done. I did a little wand wave and then 5-hole. That's all you got to do. Wand wave, 5-hole.
Is that not it? You're gonna tell all these goalies around the league now that's your move, and now they just heard it. Because we're gonna be number one in Israel tomorrow.
There's always something up these sleeves.
Yeah, okay, but he could tell him the move. The problem is Jesse going to get on a breakaway ever?
Statistically, no.
You never know. Never know. Maybe we do the Slovak change. One guy comes in the D zone and we spring Jesse off the bench. Never know.
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of cherry picking so far. I claim it's because I'm trying to spread the D, but I'm tired.
Well, I think because I did this to help raise awareness to a league that looks like fun, and I think hockey should be fun playing hockey. I think, the last question's going to be your favorite part of playing hockey in Israel, and you can all think about it. For me, I think it's neat that I've learned about Israel, that I've learned more about the country and what it's like over there from coming out to my shed and talking. And then I get to reconnect with Kazi. And then to think of like, Evgeni, I've never met you. We still got to have our one-on-one time. But then Bushbacher, this is like your third time in the shed, and I never knew you before I started this. And Jesse, I had no idea who you were. And now it's like my whole hockey family's growing, and I'm learning about stuff, and I'm learning about a league that looks like hockey's fun. And when they're retaining the services of players that are doing it voluntarily and want to come back, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Jesse, you start. Why do you like playing in Israel the most?
Honestly, there's so many reasons to list here. So I'm Protestant, but I've kind of grew up in the Jewish community, and my grandfather smuggled Jews during the war. So I have a very close relationship with the Jewish community, and most of the times I feel more Jewish than I do feel Christian. So getting to be here, and I think there was a torch that was passed from my grandfather to me about caring about Israel and the Jewish community and being a part of the Jewish community. So it's great to come back here and be a part of that. The food here is amazing. The beaches here are amazing. The people here are amazing. The hockey is it's everything you want and nothing you don't. I can't think of a better way to spend a part of my summer than being here, growing the game. And not even to mention that the whole reason I have a professional hockey career is because I had a friend involved in the league that invited me to come here. That got me the opportunity in Spain. That got me an opportunity in the United States, and now I have teams calling me in France and Germany and Poland won. So it's also kind of the birthplace of more rebirthing of my career since retiring from playing goalie. So there's also that sentimental part of it for me as well, where Israel's done something spectacular for me, and I intend on playing here until I can't skate anymore. Which I could never skate in the first place.
Well, goalies don't need to. And Michail, what's your favorite thing about it?
Well, to say it directly, as beside that, that's thing, like Michel, that's the country, and where my heart is and stuff like that. But if we talk about hockey, you know what? It's just the start of this league. Yeah, I mean, just the start. Yeah, it's third or fourth season, but I guess third. But there are many things like at the start was something special. There's something special. There's something we're not talking about like it's 15th season and how does it go. This is development. This is the start of something. It's a new project, kind of. This year, all the manager of television and stuff like that. So it's not only YouTube. Like Channel 5 Israel, you can see some games and stuff like this. So for me, this is something very special. And yet, it's in Israel. That's I mean, the whole atmosphere and, like sun is shining, Jerusalem, like water, everything around that. And beside that, you go walk to the rink, you get your, you get on the ice, and this is something, the contrast is crazy.
Yeah.
So I think, this mix of all that makes it worth.
Yeah, and that makes it exciting and fun. Bushbacher, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's so hard to pick one thing because there's obviously like the just the perspective and the eye-opening experience of coming here and seeing what this place is actually about, and not seeing that it is what we get on the TV all the time in North America. So there's definitely that. There's personally for me, like it's a great experience for us because we're an interfaith couple. So for us, like come and experience something awesome. From the hockey side, like getting a chance to get back to the game, and for some of these kids, like I know they have Evgeni and some other great coaches here, but to give back to them and share some of my experiences with kids who don't get it, during the year, I think that's part of it.
And that would help him coach the under 18s, is when someone else has been giving them some good advice and other things, that it's going to make Evgeni's job a little easier if the kids get it a little bit more, right?
Yeah, or they just hear it from somebody else too, right? At this general, it's something bigger than yourself, and the more that you can kind of expose people to hockey, grow the game, give people a positive experience, not just in sports but in life, like for me, I'm always behind something like that. So I guess that's my multifaceted one answer, right? So
it's like starting a shed.
It's like starting a shed, but it's a league in Israel that has 8 teams in a hub.
Yeah, yeah. You guys got to go way further to make all this happen. I just got to walk out here, wake up early, right?
Yeah.
And Evgeni, how about you?
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with the other guys, but because there's so many things, and look, for me also is the first thing is that Misha and myself, we are in Israel since 1992, and now through hockey we found friends here. There's a big community and like our second family, and like everything about hockey and everything about Israel. Those two things are things that's really big, and on the other side is like we live in Germany. You guys are from North America. How big is the chance in those countries to have influence on like race hockey? In Israel, you have the chance because you hear there is a history in hockey in Israel, but still you're at the beginning. And like to realize that you have a chance to grow something and to have an big influence on something, it's something I really am looking for. And I mean, and that's a big thing, because like many kids are growing, learning, playing hockey, and to be here at the start of something, huge feeling, and so. And that's like things that are driving by me, and it's fun. And on the other side, it's like just be here, going to the beach, playing hockey, enjoy the life. It's great, right?
Yeah. And for me to relate to that is starting this, and the day I thought of doing it and then putting myself out there and not knowing what would happen, who I would talk to, where it would go. I had on a kid in the UK, episode 199.5, a kid whose old man had a stroke. And now the guy I just had on before you is going to bike 600 kilometers because he listened to that episode and try and raise money for that family. And it's like being a part of that and getting to feel like I had anything to do with this guy stepping up and doing this for a family he doesn't know. It's like you can be proud of that. And it's like what you guys are doing. You guys can be proud of that you're putting in the effort, you're making this happen because you love the sport, you love the country, and you're getting a life experience you'll always have So yeah, if anybody's interested, check out Velo Dave on Instagram or wherever. He's gonna bike 600 kilometers. He's gonna go far, and he'll be at a Cardiff Devils game. And for me, listening to this, it's like when I went to Cardiff and I saw the hockey there, to see where it's at now when I've been back home for 7-8 years, and now they have all this more stuff. They have better coaches. They have more resources to become hockey people, and it's not that different than Israel. Cardiff was further along than Israel is, but like it's bringing people to a hockey rink and all getting to know each other that's going to grow it. And once people become hockey people, well, they're pretty well screwed, right? Look at me. I'm getting up at 5:30 in the morning to talk hockey in my shed, right?
Yeah, once you get bit, you're done. You're absolutely done.
Yeah, and I'm sure like that you guys will feel great watching these puppies start to get it and grow up and learn how to be hockey guys, and it'll be something you guys can be proud of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming, guys. It's been a great start to the day. Go Shed
Thanks
family,
for having
right?
us, Wally.
Oh, Shed family. We love it. Thanks for having us.
And this has been another episode of 2 L's and Hockey Tales with Bushy, Mishy, and the Causies and Wally.